People often ask me for advice and ideas that they can use in different scenarios in their life. They're like, come on, Nick, you're the breakthrough coach, you're a certified coach. Come on, just tell us what to do and we'll implement it and everything will be fine. Well, unfortunately, coaching is not quite like that. It's not advice. It's not about telling someone what to do. It's a partnership of transformation, essentially. I provide the questions and the strategies, and my clients come up with the answers themselves. But what we thought would be very beneficial is to discuss some of the techniques used by our clients, which they themselves have found useful in some way, and to share these ideas across the Persyou coaching community. So in this cast, we're going to look at a technique used by a client I used to coach on how to get more clarity in stressful situations. So a bit of the background to this client, he was finding he was getting drawn into a lot of negative disputes, he was losing his temper a little bit, he was reacting to situations in a very negative way, and this was resulting in harming his relationships in all areas of his life, both personally and in the workplace. So he wanted to have more clarity, not to get caught up in the moment and end up saying things that he regretted afterwards. So we worked together on how we could develop this. So the first thing we did was look at his stress response. What was triggering these reactions? And I mentioned that former yoga teacher of mine in Boston, Massachusetts, a guy called Glenn Cunningham, he was a wonderful teacher, spoke about the idea of yoga being a speed bump, giving you the time to stop, center, to refocus before jumping back on life's treadmill. So I asked my client, what would the speed bump look like to you? And over the next sessions, we explored how he could get more clarity and become more aware and mindful in the present moment. And what he found very useful himself was to focus on his 5 senses when he felt himself getting drawn into these situations to anchor him in the present moment. So what he did was the following. Firstly, he tuned in to what he could see around him, whether this was in the office, out of his car, or outside. Secondly, he focused on what he could hear, whether that was the car radio, traffic, a dog barking outside, for example. Thirdly, what he could feel, for example, the breeze on his face or the feel of his feet walking on the ground. Fourthly, what he could taste, whether that was the food he was eating, for example. And finally, what he could smell, perfume, coffee, food or drink. And he set himself a target of beginning this practice once a day, initially at times when he was not stressed. So essentially normal conditions in order to cultivate this practice and get better at it. So over time he found that where previously he would have jumped into a situation, he now had a clear strategy that he knew would work and give him space and time in the heat of the moment. Now this same technique of honing in on your 5 senses can be used across a whole range of scenarios and is very much an informal mindfulness practice. So by focusing on your 5 senses in any given time, it's anchoring yourself and can provide space in which to see things more clearly.